59 and verse 15. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And Yahweh Hashem Yahushai saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. First and foremost, I'd like to give out praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of great medicine who do rule well. Salutation to the men of the whole land, sing say elect. Right, this is brother Marcus out here in Trinidad. I just want to do all of the edification and news update through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And it's concerning this guy right here. I know a lot of you would know him. Charlie Kirk, as I said, Charlie Kirk shot in neck during college campus debate, and this was earlier on. Now it updated that he passed. All right, and as you would have seen a lot of videos with him doing his debates, speaking about there's only two genders, and giving his perspective on why it's morally right, based off the script of the Bible. All right, he would speak about against abortions, and all these other people talk about why it's their body and they could do whatever they want, and he will bring his arguments, and from a so-called moral standpoint, but moral standpoint that actually aligns with the scriptures. All right, as I made two references with there being only two genders, and why it is not right to abort a fetus. All right, and actually when he was shot, he was actually speaking about gun violence. All right.
Starting gang violence. Great. Starting gang violence. Great. Starting gang violence. Great. Starting gang violence. Great.
Right, so he was talking about gun and gun violence, and boom, he got shot, and who knows, could be one of the people that he usually, I don't want to say because I don't want the video to get flagged, one of the group people that he would speak about, because he also speaks about that, and they probably got incensed about what he's saying and decided what time for this guy to go. And as they could see, is an old Edomite guy. They claim that did the shooting. All right, but the reason for me doing this lesson is not mainly because of Charlie Kirk. Could he have been an Israelite? Who knows? More or less is the times that we are about to enter into. Because as I said, the scripture says, he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. All right, and the scriptures talk about it. Acts 15 and 26 to speak about men that hazarded their lives for the sake of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Now we putting ourselves out there also, speaking against things that people of this world will consider right, but which is heinous and abominable in the sight of the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahushai. All right, and we also making ourselves a prey. So the same thing that happened to Charlie Kirk could happen to us. All right, could happen to us and will happen to us. All right, because the scriptures said a lot of us gonna be persecuted, and we're gonna be put to death for the sake of Yahushai. That's why the scripture says, "Be faithful unto death." All right. This is the book of St. John, chapter 16 and verse 1. It says, "These things have I spoken unto you, that you should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God service." All right. So these people, they go past to death, and they thinking that they did something right in the sight of the Lord. Like this guy that killed Charlie Kirk. He might think that he did something good. He might think that he did humanity a great service, because this guy, he's speaking against everyone, and he's a heathen. Because the way they look at everybody, is like a heathen once they align with their belief. All right, and it's the same thing that's gonna happen to the men of the Lord, the real men of the Lord, when we go out there and we prophesy that when we preach against this kingdom, when we preach about Esau going into slavery, we speak about the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans being the only chosen people of the Most High, the real Hebrew Israelites. When we say that homosexuality is a crime against the Most High. All right, Adultery is a crime against the Most High, and adultery is rampant throughout the whole earth. All right, and a lot of people will get, heated off of, not, I wouldn't say what we say, but what we bring out through the Spirit of the Lord through the Scriptures. So really and truly, what you have the problem with is not us. You have the problem with the Most High, just like what happened with Stephen. They blocked their ears and they stoned him because they couldn't handle the truth. As you could clearly see, this guy couldn't handle the truth. And the time coming where they would not be able to handle the truth with us. And a lot of us will be put to death for Yahweh's sake. That's why he said the time cometh. All right, the time cometh. A lot of times we say we meditate in terror, meditate what we're going to do, and we do this and we do that. But meditate the terror that could be done unto you. So that when it comes knocking on your door, you could stand manfully and take it that for Yahweh's sake. All right. One of the reasons why it ain't happening to us now is because the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai does not allow it. But the time coming when he's going to allow it just so that we could be tested. This is the book of Psalms 105 and verse 14. It says, he suffered no man to do them wrong. Yea, he reproved kings for their sakes, saying, touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. And that is the reason we're safe right now. All right, the Lord have his angels, Psalms 34 and 7, encamped around us, protecting and defending us. But the time coming where the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai gonna tell them angels to hold back. Let me test and let me see who really for me. All right, pleasing unto the Lord is the death of his saints. Let me see who they say that they sincere for me. They say that they will give up their lives for me. Let me see who will willingly surrender their lives and not, try to save their own souls. All right, and sell out. All right, the time coming where we're going to be persecuted. The ones that push in this truth, the ones that believe in Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, men, women, and children. We're going to be tempted. As long as you call on the name of the Lord, all right, we're going to be, we're going to be tested. Let me see if I can find this precept here real quick. Is it 1 Timothy? If it's not 1 Timothy, it's 2 Timothy. All right, so it's 2 Timothy 3:12. 2 Timothy 3 and 12. It says, yea, and all that will live godly in Yahushua Mashiach shall, not might, shall suffer persecution. All right, there's no other entrance. All right, there's no other entrance into the kingdom of heaven. We have to pass through the straight gates, or we're gonna catch hell. A lot of us, we're gonna be put to death. But we're going to come back with Yahushai. So it's not to fear death, all right? Not even the sting of death, but to fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right? This is Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4. It says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat on them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushai, and for the word of Yahweh, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. Meaning we're going to reign with the Lord forever. So because we were beheaded, because we did not relent to Esau's will, we're going to reign forever with Yahushai. So that is why we have to maintain our resolve. All right, be firm and fixed and grounded and rooted in this truth that wherever comes our way, we're ready for it. That is the mindset that we had to have. All right. And if you see one brother be put down because of the truth, guess what? Glory, because that brother with Yahushai already. Before you blink, he with Yahushai. Before you could blink, that spirit with Yahushai, death is just a sting. So don't fear the sting of death. All right. Don't fear the sting of death. Yes, our brains hardwired to self-preservation, but we have to go against our hardwiring to really give up our lives for Yahushai's sake. All right? And that alone shows faith and love on your behalf. All right? This is the final precept here. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 11. I said verse 10. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before Yahweh day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. So, because why? They hold on to that. And they love not their lives unto death. They love not their lives unto death. So, you have to hold on to the kingdom. Hold on to the grace of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And whoever comes your way, if you have to let it go for Yahushai's sake. If your life going to be threatened. If they say, here what is going on. Don't preach this truth no more, or we're going to take you out. You know what you have to say? This is what you have to say. This is what you have to respond to them. There's the book of Acts, chapter 5, and boom, boom, boom. Where is it? Yes, Acts 5 and 28. I said that verse 27. It says, and when they had brought them, they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them, saying, did we not straitly command you that ye should not teach in this name? And behold, you have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intend to bring this man blood upon us. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, this is what you have to say. We ought to obey Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai rather than men. So even if they tell you you're going to be put to death if you continue preaching, hey, so what? I do not fear what man could do unto me. All right? So as I said, what happened with Charlie Kirk, guess what? Things like that are going to happen to us very soon. All right? So it's just for us to pray for strength, pray for hope, pray for faith that the Lord could help us endure the evil days. All right, so with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. I want to give double honor to the apostles of great mercy and do rule well. Salutation to the men of the hope and sincere elect. This is Brother Makazar saying shalom and stay strong. Shalom.